The ocean is so vast. It's a world of vastness. Could Arctic UFO photos taken from the submarine USS TREPANG in 1971, could this prove the existence of aliens? Hi everyone, how are you? This is DozGeek on section 51 on YouTube. You are very welcome as always on section 51. Thank you again for your support. Could Arctic UFO photos taken from the submarine USS TREPANG in 1971, could this prove the existence of aliens? That's what we are going to try to explain, or maybe to discover more and more things about it. So I wanted to talk about mysterious and very scary photos that run on the internet for many years now, to try to find the origins of these pictures. So who or what is behind these photos? To help me in my research, I relied on an article published by the website The Black Vault, where even the author of the article confirmed that his sources were taken from a French paranormal magazine called Top Secret, which claimed to have received these pictures dated from 1971 from anonymous source. So a lot of things have unknown origins in this story. And maybe the French viewers are aware of this French magazine Top Secret. Do you know this French magazine? You have a lot of different photos, and I think that all the photos were not taken at the same time. You will see on the internet a lot of theories, a lot of people who are saying that all this is a pure hoax, arguing that this is a military test with blimp. Of course, they admit that it was taken from a submarine, but you have also debunkers saying that some of these pictures were manipulated on Photoshop or edited. So we are going to see all this in details. The original anonymous source claims that 1. The photos were taken from a United States Navy submarine. 2. The location was between Iceland and Jan Mayen Island in the Atlantic Ocean. Jan Mayen belongs to Norway and is only inhabited by the Norwegian Meteorological Institute and the Norwegian military. And 3. These pictures were allegedly taken in March of 1971. 4. The submarine was the Navy's USS TREPANG with the number SSN 674, and the admiral on board was Dean Reynolds Sackett. Obviously, the next step was to try and locate this Admiral Dean Reynolds, if he exists. The 5th fact in this story is that the submarine came upon the object by accident, as they were in the region on a routine joint military and scientific expedition. Officer John Klika was the one who initially spotted the object with the periscope. This obviously implies that it wasn't ours, or it wasn't a US event, a US UFO, and unfortunately doesn't explain the different objects seen in the pictures. You must know now this strange picture. Top Secret magazine claims that on one of these pictures there were some inscriptions. Upper left, it was saying official photograph not to be released CT. And in the bottom right corner, it was saying unauthorized disclosure subject. Security certificate SSN 674, the number of the submarine, and point criminal sanction. Here are, tonight, the original photographs that created the hype about this case. But these are the original scans of the photos, not from the magazine. These photos were sent anonymously two top secret magazines. You have now on the screen the first photo, surely the most impressive photo of all the stuff. It seems to have undergone a different treatment than that of the next three photos. Is it a cigar-shaped UFO that has been hit by a missile and is exploding at the surface of the water, or a UFO that is coming out of the water and ready to fly? That's very strange, very difficult to interpret, to understand what we are seeing on the picture. But we can also see a point of light, a red or yellow light, near the middle of the object. Let's go to the next photo. We identify, without a doubt, a triangular-shaped UFO. It seems to be in trouble because you can see that it is very low, in low altitude, nearly touching the water. Maybe it has difficulties to go up, to go in the air. Again, it's difficult to understand something in this picture or to understand what is going on. We can see that the lights seems to be okay. The lights and the shadows seem to match with the lights and the shadows on the water.
Do you believe UAPs pose a potential threat to our national security?
Yes. The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years. Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Is it the same object that the one we just saw in the previous photo? I don't know. All that I know is that the French magazine received these photos in this order, without any further information. The UFO now on these pictures seems to go sideways before plunging into the ocean. So you can see, maybe it's the same triangular-shaped object, which seems to move up and to go sideways before plunging in the water. You can see that the water is very clean, very sharp. The only thing that is not sharp is the UFO. That's a shame. We have these other pictures. And I think that these pictures, they don't belong to the same incident or the same event. The first two, maybe they are the following of the scene of the triangular object plunging in the ocean. The last three, with the white sky, are very different. I think that here we have a cigar-shaped object, which seems to be rather a blimp, and which could be the object of some military test or military target for launching missiles. The fact that we have a lot of different pictures puts some confusion in the understanding of these pictures or the story belonging to all this. That's very confusing. Cigar-shaped object of large dimension that falls into the ocean. These pictures seem to come from another laboratory, as you can read in the small letters. This is the laboratory Sigma, about which they knew nothing. Do these photos present a single and same event, or are we dealing with two different events? You can see on the second photo, when the craft, the object is in the water, you can see that it seems to be in trouble. Is it on fire? Does it come from the depths of the ocean? Or is it headed there? Despite the fact that its form perfectly resembles the typical cigar shape of UFOs, it is still impossible to distinguish more details of its structure. And in the next photo, with the white sky, according to the letter from the anonymous contact, the submarine was equipped with an analog camera, which could explain the image overlay or the double exposure, and also the visible graduation. And in the last photo, as you can read in French, in the French comment of the magazine, it is saying too beautiful to be real, this new strange picture. C'est trop beau pour être vrai. We don't know. It might be the banana peel that would be used to discredit the other pictures of the dossier. Ça pourrait être la peau de banane qui est là pour semer la confusion ou pour discréditer les photos précédentes du dossier. So, who was the anonymous informer? Is it a reader of the magazine or a source wanting to share a military secret? That's very interesting. On July the 8th of 2015, investigator and former Navy pilot Steve Murillo was asked to make a phone call to Admiral Sackett and John Klika, both named by the source who released the pictures, as men who were on the Trepang SSN 674 in March of 1971 in the Arctic. Admiral Sackett denied seeing anything unusual while on board the Trepang. He checked out the pictures but could not identify what was in these pictures. John Klika also confirmed that he was also on the Trepang in March of 1971, but told that neither himself or anyone else saw anything unusual while in the Arctic. He found the investigation interesting reading and doesn't know what the pictures represent. That leads us to believe that the Trepang was not involved in the taking of the photographs. That's a theory, a supposition. So the photographs remain a mystery, no doubt. So these pictures may be authentic and highly unusual, or they may be more mundane objects that in time will be identified. Furthermore, there is the issue of provenance, which is unknown. Are they really from the Arctic and from an American sub? On the later point, there was another sub in the region, just a month before the Trepang, and that is the USS Skate USN 578. But after verifying the information in the documents of the location of naval vessels, the investigators of the Black Vault discovered that the USS Trepang, as indicated being between Iceland and Jan Mayen Island, was in fact in the region at the time. Following local operations out of New London, Connecticut, Trepang proceeded to the Arctic early in 1971. From 22nd February to 22nd March, the nuclear attack submarine operated beneath the northern ice cap, conducting extensive tests to provide data for a weapons system, as well as carrying out scientific experiments concerning the movement, composition, and geological history of the cap itself. Of course, we have a lot of possible explanations. At first look to these pictures, you can notice that there was something very Zeppelin or blimp-like about some of the photos. But unlike the actual Zeppelins, it did not have a carrier for the occupants. However, after some research, it is possible that these were naval target balloons and the USS Trepang was conducting a weapons test of some kind. By searching the Library of Congress, you can find few examples of balloon carriers, like the ones in these photos. It should be noted that the balloons in these photographs were photographed between 1910 to 1915, considerable time difference between this case and these photographs. Could the same technology have been used more than 50 years later? Maybe, or maybe not. However, it is possible that the objects in the photos above are a type of weapons system test target and the photographs are of the results of their shoot down. And after FOIA requests, the Freedom of Information Act, to the military, US Navy confirmed that the USS Trepang was indeed involved in weapons tests and seems to coincide with the theory these could be some type of naval targets used for practice. According to investigators, while looking at the high-resolution version of these photos, the photos of the objects, you can see the definitely indicators of the periscope. Like in this picture, this photograph unrelated to this case but used as an example. You can clearly see in the UFO photos, like here, the crosshairs of the periscope along with the indicator lines, and they are seen in nearly every photograph. Also, this does not prove it was a weapons test and the object was a target balloon. It could support both sides of this story. The both sides of the story are, first, it was taken from a submarine. The second side is that these photos were taken while the submarine was submerged. And that leads us to the theory of the debunkers. On June the 26th of 2017, UFO investigator Gilles Fernandez posted a discovery made by Wim van Utrecht, which showed that one of the TREPANG photographs may have been photoshopped by using duplication of the clouds, maybe. Like you can see in this picture, where he demonstrated that the clone stamp tool was used to duplicate the clouds at the bottom of the UFO to put some clouds in the upper side of the sky. So here is the theory of this UFO investigator Gilles Fernandez. Let's admit that there is a possible explanation for the photoshopping evidence. But on the other hand, it is no secret that many magazines, especially those that are not news periodicals, may enhance photographs for print. This enhances their appeal and their visual look, but doesn't necessarily change the entire context of the photo. And we have to keep in mind that these photographs were originally put onto the internet. Given to researcher Alex Mistretta, an author who specializes in paranormal exploration after being scanned from the magazine, saw a lot of steps and manipulations on these photos. Is it for good or for bad? Maybe steps which altered the quality of the photo, which led Wim van Utrecht to suggest that it was some manipulated photograph. The biggest problem in all this is that the source is completely anonymous. I personally believe that the photographs probably are real, or most of them, and they probably depict naval weapon tests and targets, maybe the 5 last photos, but I would say the first 4 photos, this is something different. So it's hard to be 100% sure that these photos are real, or at least that they describe what we would like them to represent. There are always questions that remain unanswered. Nigel Watson, UK UFO investigator, told that there are an odd selection of pictures that feature types of UFOs that have been regularly spotted by witnesses in all parts of the world. Airship or cigar-shaped type craft have been reported since 1896. When there was a great wave of phantom airship sightings throughout the USA. This batch of pictures backups such claims but is not sure about their authenticity. Moreover, the case of these intriguing photographs also points to the subjects of USOs, unidentified submersible objects. A subject we ever talked about here on the channel in previous videos, and I invite you to go watch them. There is a long history of UFOs being witnessed under, above or near bodies of water. From a sighting recorded by Christopher Columbus in 1492 to the Utsuro Bune folklore in Japan, or the highly documented Shag Harbor incident, water seems to play a big role in UFO sightings. Could some of these photos represent real photos of USO? You know, the photos of the USS TREPANG. If this is real, what is hiding in the ocean? Maybe you know that more than 80% of the ocean is unexplored. Mysteries of the oceans remain vast and deep. It seems that it's easier to go in space and colonize other planets like Mars or moons. It's easier to go there than go deeper in the ocean to try to explore or to discover what is really hiding in the shadows. Personally, I liked very much the movie Abyss from James Cameron, because another movie which tried to bring the subject of aliens and UFOs to the public by the way of entertainment, but this time this was very original in the way that it was not about UFOs or aliens in the sky, alien spacecraft, alien spaceship. No, it was dealing with alien life underwater. You know what is strange with these pictures, especially with the first ones? I am a bit fascinated by these pictures, by the light. You have a very bright sun and you have this perfect triangular shape of the object over the water. It could be a picture from a movie. Whereas the last 5 pictures in black and white, they seem more common for me, more common pictures. So if you found this video interesting, as always, if you learned things thanks to the channel, if you liked this video, please give a thumbs up and share it with as many people as possible. Of course, don't forget to hit the bell button right below this video to be notified every time a new video is published. Thank you again. Big kisses to you. This was DosGeek on section 51 and see you very soon. Bye.
Bright light in the night. Some things take